Alright, everybody! Here is Joao Raineri for Drums Bonero, and this is part 2 of Party 2. Alright, everybody! So, here is Joao Raineri for Drums Bonero, and we're talking now cymbals. This is perhaps the best topic to talk about ever. I don't know, jazz drummers have something about cymbals or ride cymbals. Hi-hats are okay, but definitely ride cymbal is... Can you imagine like going to a date and the other person only wants to hear about your cymbals? This is like wife material right there. Anyways, this is too much. I got here a 22 inches 30th anniversary Istanbul Agop. And I had 2 of these before, but they were around or a little over 3,000 grams. And this one right here is 2,800, like 2,833. And this is the lightest I've ever got. And I'm so in love with this thing. I got this last year, August of 2023. And one thing that I started doing, I think 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, is start labeling my cymbal. So I give the cymbal a name. This happens to be Laura. And I signed the cymbal and when I purchased it. Just so like there's I don't know, a sort of documentation or some sort of... Because I always wanted to know the history of cymbals and previous owners. And this is stuff that I ended up doing. It's pretty cool if you did as well. So maybe one day I get your cymbal if I get, run across stuff. You guys know what I'm saying. So let me play this thing. It's so nice. It's not that deep because it is still a 22. But it's a lighter version of this very cymbal. And I think the hammering, it changes from time to time. How Agop does the 30th anniversary. This is the version, I don't know, like perhaps of 4 or 5 years ago. It's not like the super dark one, but also it's not the super clean one. Somewhere in the middle. It has a couple of orange spots, which I don't think is patina. I think this is how like they did their, I don't know, chemical treatment of the cymbal, whatever. I guess you can call this patina, but you guys know what I'm saying. Let me play this because it has a beautiful, majestic, pointy, focused kind of sound without much of a spread, even though it's low-pitched. Bro, what else do you want? The only thing is too big. You can't take to every gig, or it doesn't come in the playing. So, anyways. Alright, so now let's talk about another 30th anniversary from Agop. This is a 22. Now, this is a what's called in the business the Frank Gegerle Cymbals. So this is a guy, a cymbalsmith. I guess you can call him a cymbalsmith out of Munich. And he goes personally to the Agop factory in Istanbul and gets a couple of those 30th anniversary, brings back to Germany and works. I don't know what he does. I don't know if he hammers the cymbal again. I don't know if he lathes again. I don't know. I do know that he has like a chemical process, whatever, that you have to pay more for. But they are different. And I think the first version came somewhere in the mid-2010s. It was like a big splash of, oh my God, is this the new K Istanbul sound, whatever? And I got curious, but they were too expensive for me. And so only about 4 years later that I was able to get one fairly okay-ish on eBay. And he has, at first, I think he brought 3 series, and he always marks his symbols. The first series, the Mark 1 version, I think they had 25, limited 25 versions of what's it called, symbols that he made it. This is the Mark II, and it has 77 symbols in the line, and this is one of them. This is the lighter version that I have. I have another one. This is the lighter, more soft version, and it has 2 rivets. One is an actual rivet, the other one is just a office like clip paper kind of thing. But here's how the symbol sounds. All right, let's talk about my other Frank Gegerle. This is the very first version of the symbols that he brought out mid 2010s. And this one is limited to 25. It definitely has like a 30th anniversary look to it, but this one is definitely stiffer. And I'm pretty sure, let's just say 95% sure, that he does have hammered this symbol. Because the profile of the symbol is so much like an umbrella. It is very high, and it's definitely shorter than a 22, even though when you buy as a 22, and definitely with the price of a 22. But anyways, I also got this one on eBay, so it wasn't that much of a price. But if you go today on the website and just like Google Frank Gegerle, you'll hear the prices that I'm talking about. Which I don't know if it's hype, to be honest. I don't know if it's like too much. But this symbol, this very symbol, is the symbol that I most used for recording. So maybe it is worth the price. I don't know. I'll let you judge for yourself. Here we go. The Mark I limited 25 pieces. So now let's talk about another symbolsmith out of Europe, and that is Funch. I think that's how it pronounces. I still don't get it since the first video. I don't know, maybe I'm too lazy. This is a 22, and it's a almost flat right. It does have like a nudge of a bell, and it's an interesting bell because last time on another video I presented a almost flat right, and it had a pointy small bell. This one has a sort of a kind of mountain, very like shallow mountain for a flat, for a bell. And the sound is so interesting. It's very washy, very dark. The stick definition is there, but there's also sort of a wobble, a dragon war to this. Fairly clean. It's not much of a complex symbol. But yeah, I really liked it. I bought it off of eBay to see if the guy was hype, really. But it isn't. It is truly a great instrument. So pretty happy with this purchase. And I think I have this for about, what, 2 years now? And I've been playing it and recording with it. Super happy. This is how it sounds like. Definitely gives me sort of a Marcus Gilmore vibe. I don't know. Alright, so last time we did a cymbal video for this channel, I brought the brother of this cymbal. This one is one of my favorite rides of all time, the Sabian AA Raw ride. And this one I bought, when was it? 2016. And I really like, this is a bit darker, but this series, though it is not hammered, though it seems it has a little hammering on the border. Like if I go like this, I can see it, and it is very dark and complex at the same time. It doesn't work for all the rooms, but still one of my favorite cymbals to be mass produced. Okay, this is another modification from a cymbalsmith out of the Netherlands. His name is Helge Dichanz. And this is a very interesting one. One day back in 2015, I was wandering on eBay, as I do every single day, and I saw this for 120 euros, and I was like, bro, I gotta get this. I didn't watch any videos or anything. I just knew, well, this looks like a signature Agop, so let me get it. Whatever it is I can get, I can, sell this again. And he did this to the back. So he didn't hammer it. I think he told me he hammered something around the bell, but nothing on the body of the cymbal. And he laid it, and he had also sort of a treatment done to the cymbal. And I remember picking this up out of the box and playing like this, and I was like, bro, is this the very best cymbal ever? Because it's so complex, so nice, so, I don't know, there are many ways and adjectives to use this cymbal and describe it. I'm going to let you guys hear it. There are 3 rivets that I never had the courage to take it off because it is just so good. Oh, you can do anything to this cymbal. Like, can smash it and yeah. Anyways, you guys heard it. All right. Now we get into 20s. I actually only have about... Last time I think I had 2 20s. Now I have 4. But I don't really like 20s. But those ones that I have today, I really, really do like. This is, as you can tell, a Sabian hand-hammered Manhattan ride. Not really sure when this series came out of. But I know that they have different like models. Or at least they sound very different from one another. And this another cymbal that I got very cheaply on eBay because it has a crack. Right here it has a crack. I did a I marked it just to know if the crack is expanding. And I think I have, when did I purchase it? On 2018. Ever since, it never got any bigger than that. And it is so light. This is a 20 inch cymbal. And I would say it's like about 1/6. It is fairly low pitched, but it still have a sort of a definition and stick. Okay, so this cymbal was a dream of mine ever since I got to know Mark Juliana. I mean, I say got to know him, but when I first heard him and like how amazing he is. And I remember reading an interview back in the days and him talking about the 20 inches Artisan light ride. And ever since I saw that interview and him saying that this is the cymbal that he likes the most back then, I wanted to get those. And then I had a friend in college who actually had a cymbal, this cymbal right here. And I was always like on him and being like, hey, Pat, when you sell this, just let me know. And he was like, I'm never selling this. I'm never selling this. And then 10 years later, here we are. I got this. I know that the Artisan series had like a bunch of different models throughout the years. And this light version, I think, is one of the first ones that came out. I might be wrong about this. I don't really know how to spot those. I just know that the hammering is pretty interesting. There's a lot, very small hammering, but then there's like bigger cluster hammer that are not clustered. So this is how it sounds. So this is my retirement plan, the only retirement plan that I have as a musician. Oh my God. That's how beautiful and sad life is as a jazz drummer. Anyways, this is a 20 inches Spizzichino. It's a fairly... This is one of the best cymbals that I've ever had and I've ever played. And all of that, but I'm not a Spizzichino Roberto, Spizzichino specialist. I don't know like to differentiate the different alloys that he played and then he used, or I know like there's a very pronounced bell, but I also don't know if this is an Asian alloy or a Turkish alloy. Not really sure. I figured this is perhaps a Turkish one because it sounds better, but who am I to know? And the interesting part of this cymbal, at least for me, is that I had a deal with this guy because I met him back in 2013, and you know, at first I was like, oh bro, you got a pizzichino? Whoa, how much did you pay for this? Crazy, can I play? Can I play? And then I softened him up, and perhaps like a half a year later, he brought the cymbal to the university. And then I played and I was like, damn, this is a really good cymbal, crazy. But at the time I was just broke. I never thought I could own one of these cymbals. And the years came by and we got really friends. And it was a point of his life that he wanted to downsize how many cymbals he had, because he had like crazy amount of cymbals. It's just like ridiculous. And I made a deal with him. I was like, listen, you gotta do nothing. I'll just take all the cymbals that you have. If I sell 15 of those, would you give me your pizzichino? And he was like, no way, bro. Like, you're selling my stuff, this is cool, but like, what about you sell me 20 of my cymbals and then you give me an X amount of money that will remain undisclosed. So I give you the, we can like do this trade-in for the cymbal. And I think it took me about 1.5 years to sell off all of his cymbals, like the 20 that was in our deal. And then I gave him the money and then I got this. And I named it after my favorite MMA fighter of all time, Shogun Rua. And yeah, this is from May 2019. And it sounds like this. And that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Perhaps next time we see each other, I'm going to have more cymbals. But as of now, you've seen all of the cymbals that I have, minus a couple that I sold along the way. We'll see you, everybody. Bye-bye.